neighborhood, a wonderful day in the neighborhood, a wonderful day in Westview. Hello there, everybody. This is Mr. Jonathan here to tell you why Westview is the best city in the world. No crime, no hatred, no evil witches. Nothing negative ever happens in town. All thanks to our wonderful couple in town, Vision and Wanda.
What the heck am I wearing? What is everybody?
Mr. Jonathan's having a little bit of problems.
But we don't need to talk about that. Check out our review instead.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Hello, Marvel lovers. Just two fully vaccinated kids here.
I'm Ali Jawad.
I'm Lindsey and Jiminez.
And today we're going to be reviewing Marvel's latest TV show on Disney Plus, WandaVision.
So WandaVision isn't a movie, so instead we're going to take it episode by episode. What'd you think of the first two?
I thought they were like pretty basic. I mean, like, again, it's just like, I think really any show, they just introduce you to like everybody and like kind of get to know the surroundings and, you know, maybe what's to expect. But I think really like after watching the first one, obviously portrayed like in the 1950s, it was kind of like, you know, okay, I still don't get the gist of the show. It wasn't really until the second one when they jumped over into like the 60s and then, you know, Vision brings over his boss and his boss's wife as well for a dinner.
And the boss just dies basically, or he
Almost,
chokes on
yeah,
food.
Yeah, and like Vision has to like literally stick his hand in his boss's throat, pull out the food, and his weird wife was just laughing.
Yeah, but honestly, first couple episodes were really boring. I love WandaVision, but it was just really boring, and I think it was because it was black and white. That's honestly the only thing that didn't catch my attention.
So now we get into episode 3, which of course takes place in the 1970s, now in color.
Hence the name.
Yes, the title. And Wanda, she goes through like the fastest pregnancy you'll ever see.
Okay, the pregnancy takes 20 minutes, and then Monica comes in, delivers both babies, no prior experience, and no one questions it. Everybody's like A-okay with it.
Yeah, shout out to Monica. I mean, hey, she pulled it through. But Monica, of course, being one of the main characters, or really a key character as well, she mentions Quicksilver and his death in Avengers Age of Ultron, and this leads to Wanda like being like really puzzled, like, what did you just say? And
yeets her out of the dimension.
yeah, with Wanda and her incredible powers, it's like, all right, well, bye, and she just shoots her out.
Okay, now we're in episode 4, and it's not even taking place in WandaVision world anymore. It's actually in like the MCU universe. And taking back to episode 3, Monica gets yeeted out of the circle, and that's where we introduce that Sword is monitoring this little hex thing the whole time.
Yeah, and so the hex, well, we kind of wonder like, what is the hex? You know, it's obviously that, you know, like big giant red like fortress looking thingy. But yeah, and so inside the hex, they figure out that WandaVision is broadcasting as a TV show. And where does the name the Hex come from? Well, Darcy Lewis from Thor, she was like, oh, it looks like a giant hexagon, so she calls it the Hex. And of course, another character from previous Marvel movies, Jimmy Woo.
Jimmy Woo!
From Ant-Man as well, the FBI director.
We love Jimmy Woo.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so now we're in like the Halloween episode, which is really cool because we get to see like their original costumes from back in the comic books.
Yeah, and so big thing in this episode is that Vision starts to catch along in what's going on with the Hex, and him and of course Agnes, the nosy neighbor.
The nosy neighbor.
Which, by the way, I think you can pull her off.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you're welcome. But they are stuck at the edge of the Hex, and they realize, or Vision realizes that as the Hex, you know, the further it goes out, the less control Wanda has. And so, like, we start seeing, like...
people, like, crying with, like, one tear.
Yeah, and they're, like, all going crazy and everything.
And just like this. And it makes you think. So now we have S.H.I.E.L.D. trying to, like, go into the Hex and kind of, like, disturb Wanda's world. And they put Monica in there, and she has superpowers now.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's getting powers. And then eventually, doesn't Darcy go?
Darcy goes in
as well?
there.
Yes, and her and Vision go, like, on an adventure. And so, yeah, it's like... everyone's doing their own little thing, but then...
they all meet up,
yeah.
And then we realize Agnes is Agatha, and she's a witch.
She is a very bad witch.
She's a baddie.
Our definitions of bad are different, so... yeah.
And now Agatha tells Wanda that she's the Scarlet Witch, which was like the first time in the MCU she's been said to be the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, and then this leads to like an epic final battle scene between the Visions and the Witches. And sadly, it doesn't end the way we want it to.
And then Wanda has to pick to save Westview or her family she made up, which is so sad. I cried.
Yeah, Marvel just continues to find ways to end things off in a very, very depressing way and leave us all, just very depressed and never want to watch Marvel movies again. So now we get into like what we liked and didn't like. I really liked the theme of each episode. It was like just themes of like TV shows that like we all grew up watching. I mean, talking from like I Love Lucy all the way to like The Office, and before that it was like Malcolm in the Middle. So I think the themes of each episode was really a creative end on Marvel's part.
Yeah, and I really liked, this sounds so sad, I like how they made her pick between her family or Westview, because that girl already been through so much trauma.
For real.
And they just put more trauma.
For real.
She's so powerful.
Yeah, and I think one person that just really, really annoyed everybody was Hayward. So seeing him get arrested was probably one of my favorite parts.
That was mine too. One thing I didn't like though, as I've said, it started off a little slow for me. I kind of need like that attention grabbing stuff.
Yeah, we were just kind of still wondering like, what's this gonna lead into? But again, Marvel just saves all their surprises, for really more so like the middle to the end. But at the end of the day, hey, they did a good job.
Yeah, it gives 2 thumbs up from me. I gotta give credit to Marvel for making this like the beginning phase 4 that we've seen. It's incredible, and I'm so excited to see like more of it.
Yeah, same here. And always, it's like anytime we watch, whether it's a show or a movie with Marvel, it makes you wonder what's to come. Lindsay, how much do you like Wanda?
I love her so much.
All right, well, I kind of have a theory that she could possibly be a villain.
I want
in
her
Marvel.
to be a villain.
All right, so she wants her to be a villain.
She has been through so much. Why not make her a villain?
And I think there's just so much emotion, bottled up inside of her. Can she control it all? So I think that could possibly let us know, hey, I mean, maybe there's some evil inside of her.
Why not? If I went through what she did,
Yeah.
I'll do the same thing. I ain't gonna say it, but I'll do the same thing.
So Lindsay, would you prefer Marvel with the TV shows or with the movies?
I can't choose, and I'll tell you why. This is the first TV show with like the main MCU character, and it was so good. But movies, also so good. What do you think about it? And do you think she deserves a movie or a TV show?
Well, okay, I like the TV shows because they connect with the characters in the movies, so that makes it like flow very well. I do think though that, Scarlet Witch is probably like emerging as like, probably maybe the most popular Avenger. I think at this point, I mean, she's just getting more and more attention with how powerful she is. I would like to see her get a movie just because, she's growing into such a big character.
I have to respectfully disagree. I think she should get a season 2 just because we get to see more of her. And more Wanda, chef's kiss.
Yeah, but I will say this though, the wait, as always, it's like, hey, episode 1 ends. Then it's like, great, now we have to wait another week, and then so on and so forth. I mean, Marvel just loves to make us wait and test our patience.
And make the episodes longer. They're only like 20 minutes or so. Make them bad boys 40.
Yes, or even more. I wouldn't mind that at all.
An hour. I said it.
Well, that's all the time we have here today. I'm Ali Jawad.
I'm Lindsey Jiminez.
And we thank you for watching this review of WandaVision. Be sure to subscribe to Coog TV.
And tell us what you think down below. Did we get it right or did we get it wrong? And what did we miss?